This morning changed everything. 6 hours of silence from Tehran's Revolutionary Guard finally broke when Iranian state television confirmed what intelligence networks had been whispering since dawn. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei is dead, killed in his compound during coordinated American and Israeli strikes that turned northern Tehran into a war zone before most of the city woke up. The man who controlled Iran for 3 decades, who survived sanctions, uprisings, assassination attempts, who built the Revolutionary Guard into a parallel military state within a state, was eliminated in a single strike package that lasted less than 12 minutes. But here's what you need to understand. That confirmation, that single broadcast, to 88 million Iranians, is not the story. What happened 6 hours after his death, that's the story. This is VHF Channel 16, the International Maritime Distress and Safety Frequency. Every commercial captain on Earth monitors this channel continuously. It's the channel that tells you whether the water ahead is navigable or a graveyard. This afternoon, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps transmitted a message to every vessel within radio range of the Persian Gulf. The transmission was in Farsi first, then English, then Mandarin. 3 languages, 1 message. No ship is allowed to pass. The Strait of Hormuz is closed. Not threatened, not under warning, closed. Confirmed by UK Maritime Trade Operations, the European Union Naval Force, and tanker operators from Rotterdam to Singapore who are, right now as I'm telling you this, deciding whether their captains should slow down, anchor, or turn around completely. The decision trees at major shipping companies are being rewritten in real time. Insurance clauses are being reviewed. Contracts are being broken. And if you don't understand why those 2 words matter more than the Supreme Leader's death, more than the airstrikes, more than anything else that happened in this war today, let me give you one number. 20 million barrels. That's how much oil moves through the Strait of Hormuz every single day. 1/5 of everything the world consumes. 1/5 of the fuel in your car, heating your home, powering the factories that produce every product on every shelf you see. 20 million barrels daily through a waterway 33 kilometers wide at its narrowest point. Narrower than the English Channel, barely wider than Lower Manhattan to the Jersey Shore. Every day, 1/5 of global energy supply squeezes through that gap. And as of this afternoon, the country controlling the northern shore has mined the shipping lanes and told the world nobody enters. Monday morning is 36 hours away. When markets open, the bill for this war comes due. Stay with me because I'm walking you through exactly what happens next and exactly what it costs you. Let's talk about what 20 million barrels means when it stops flowing. Saudi Arabia, Iraq, the UAE, Kuwait, Qatar. Every major Gulf producer loads crude onto tankers that must transit Hormuz to reach open ocean. Those barrels flow to China, India, Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, half of Southeast Asia. China receives half its total crude imports through Hormuz. Think about that. The world's manufacturing hub, the factory floor of global commerce, just lost access to half its energy supply in a single afternoon. Japan imports nearly all its oil by sea, mostly through this waterway. South Korea, same. India, same. 4 of Asia's 5 largest economies depend on Hormuz staying open the way your lungs depend on your throat staying open. It's not preference, it's physiology. And it just got closed. Investment banks have modeled this for decades. JP Morgan estimates a full Hormuz blockade could push crude beyond $120 to $150 per barrel. Oil closed Friday around $70. That's a near doubling of the most important commodity price in the global economy over a weekend. Bloomberg analysis shows oil prices rise roughly 4% for every 1% reduction in global supply. Hormuz carries 20% of global supply. Do that math. The number breaks things. Supply chains, transportation budgets, everything moving by truck, ship, air. Your Amazon delivery, the food on grocery shelves, the medicine at your pharmacy, the plastic in every product you touch, all of it priced in oil, all of it about to get more expensive. Current U.S. gasoline averages $2.98 per gallon. If crude hits 120, you're looking at $4.50 to $5 per gallon within weeks. The strait is closed. That number is in play. Here's what makes today different from every time Iran threatened to close Hormuz before. In 2012 during nuclear sanctions. In 2019 after the U.S. killed Qasem Soleimani. In 2023 during tanker seizures. Every time every analyst said the same thing. Iran won't do it. Closing the strait cuts off Iran's own exports, alienates China, which buys 90% of Iranian crude, guarantees American military response. Every time they were right, until today. Today, the Supreme Leader is dead. The Guard's chain of command is fragmented. The IRGC's operational doctrine includes pre-programmed contingencies activating automatically in decapitation scenarios. Strait closure is one. This isn't a strategic decision by a government weighing costs. This is a dead man's switch. A preset protocol triggered by eliminating the command authority that would normally decide whether to pull it. The people who need to reverse this order may lack authority. The people who had authority are dead or unreachable in rubble in northern Tehran. Approximately 750 vessels sit in the Strait Zone. Tankers loaded with Saudi crude heading to Qingdao, LNG carriers to Yokohama, product tankers to Mumbai. All in a waterway where the U.S. Navy's Fifth Fleet told commercial operators it cannot guarantee vessel safety. The United States Navy, the most powerful maritime force in history, told the shipping industry it cannot protect them in Hormuz right now. Lloyd's of London already moved. War risk premiums for Gulf transit surged 50% or more. Shell, BP, Total Energies suspended new cargo loadings. Tankers already loaded are anchored. Tankers en route are rerouting. The oil is not moving. 20 million barrels daily, not moving. Someone's thinking there are alternatives. Pipelines. The Saudis can reroute. Yes, 2 bypass options exist. Saudi Arabia's east-west pipeline runs to Yanbu on the Red Sea. Maximum capacity 5 million barrels daily. The UAE's Habshan-Fujairah pipeline reaches Fujairah on the Gulf of Oman. Maximum capacity 1.5 million barrels daily. Together at full throughput, these move 6.5 million barrels daily. The Strait carries 20 million. That leaves a 13.5 million barrel daily gap from day one. No other infrastructure closes that gap. And natural gas. 20% of global LNG exports transit Hormuz, mostly from Qatar. Europe replaced Russian gas with Qatari LNG after 2022, now faces losing that supply with the oil disruption. Analysts project European gas prices could rise 70%. Central and Eastern Europe could face actual shortages. Not higher prices, shortages. The strait is closed, the pipelines are inadequate, the gas is cut off. Let me tell you what happens Monday morning because that's the deadline that matters. Asian futures markets open Sunday evening U.S. time. London opens Monday morning. New York opens Monday 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Every single one of those markets opens to a world where Hormuz is closed, Persian Gulf airspace is shut down, Iran's supreme leader is confirmed dead, and the military organization controlling the waterway announced, and I'm quoting directly, that operations will continue relentlessly until the enemy is decisively defeated. Energy analysts at Rystad Energy, the world's largest private oil and gas consulting firm, assessed that most strategic initiative now lies with Iran. Published Saturday afternoon. What it means is this. The decision about whether this strait stays closed or reopens is not in Washington's hands. It's in the hands of IRGC Naval Command. And that command operates on pre-programmed doctrine with a broken chain of command above it. The Trump administration has one tool deployable before Monday's open, the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. The SPR currently holds approximately 371 million barrels. At U.S. daily consumption rates, that's roughly 18 days of domestic supply. At maximum drawdown rate, the government can release about 4.4 million barrels daily. To be clear, SPR drawdown does not replace 20 million barrels daily of Gulf supply, doesn't replace 13.5 million, doesn't replace half. What it does is send a signal. Markets run on signals in crisis first 48 hours. A credible SPR release announcement Sunday evening could blunt Monday's worst spike. As of right now, that announcement hasn't been made. Kevin Book, managing director of research at Clearview Energy Partners, told reporters the administration could tap the SPR if prices spike. Could, not will, not has decided to. The tool exists. The decision hasn't been announced. Asian markets open in hours. Here's what nobody in Washington says out loud. Iran knows closing Hormuz hurts China more than America. The U.S. is a net energy exporter. Higher oil prices benefit U.S. producers short term. The pain hits at the pump in transportation costs, downstream inflation. But for China, this is existential. Half of China's crude imports just got cut off. China's strategic reserve gives them maybe 80 to 90 days. Japan's reserve about 90 days. South Korea the same. If the strait stays closed a month, reserves start depleting. Closed 90 days, they're gone. And what begins within the first week is what one analyst called the mother of all bidding wars. Picture this. China, Japan, South Korea, India simultaneously competing for every barrel available outside the Gulf. Norwegian crude, American shale, Russian oil, West African production, Brazilian deep water. Every barrel deliverable without transiting Hormuz becomes a bidding target for 4 of the world's largest economies simultaneously. Spot prices will spike not because of scarcity globally, but because of concentration regionally. The oil exists, it's just in the wrong hemisphere, and moving it takes weeks ships don't have. That bidding war is the mechanism. That's how strait closure translates into $130 oil, into $5 gasoline, into global recession. Through 4 countries needing oil to keep economies running, all reaching for the same shrinking supply with no diplomatic resolution in sight. A prolonged Hormuz closure is a guaranteed global recession. That's not speculation. That's the consensus of every major energy institution and investment bank that modeled this over 5 decades. The strait is closed. The guarantee activated. Now let me tell you the irony nobody in Washington anticipated. The strikes launched Saturday. Markets closed weekends. That timing wasn't accidental. The calculation was clear. Launch Saturday. Complete opening phase Sunday. Deliver victory before Monday's open. Control the narrative. Markets open to confidence, not chaos. That assumed a short, clean operation. Decapitation strikes, targeted infrastructure hits, regime collapse, ceasefire within days. Like June 2025, when Israel and Iran exchanged strikes for 11 days, the Strait stayed open, oil barely moved, everyone returned to normal. The playbook worked then. It should work now. Except one variable changed. Instead, the supreme leader is dead and the strait is closed. Chain of command shattered, mines in the water, Fifth Fleet headquarters hit, commercial shipping frozen. Major oil companies halted shipments, 750 vessels in a conflict zone. The Navy that controls every ocean on Earth cannot guarantee safe passage through a 21-mile gap. Trump chose Saturday because markets were closed. Markets open Monday, and the bill won't be measured in missiles or targets. It'll be measured at gas pumps in every American city, in energy bills of every European factory, in fuel reserves of every Asian economy that lost half its oil overnight. The number that opens on Monday's screen will not be denominated in barrels or dollars. It will be denominated in fear. I'm Kane Shimatsuka. Hormuz is closed for the first time in modern history. 20 million barrels daily offline. Markets open in hours. And the organization controlling the waterway says it won't stop until the enemy is defeated. The world thought this war would be measured in weeks. It will be measured in what your grocery bill looks like next month. Monday is coming. Nobody is ready.